Okay.
Okay, it is 7 o'clock. I will call this meeting to order.
There's one counselor absent. We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Special orders?
There are none. There are no public hearings either.
We've come to the point of our meeting where there's citizens' participation. I have no slips, but if anybody in the audience would like to come up and speak, we'd like to ask you to keep your comments to 3 minutes or less and speak respectfully, and don't please disparage anybody. So if anybody would like to speak at this time, it's the time to stand up and come forward. First call. Second call for anybody who'd like to speak. Third and final call. And we'll close that part of the meeting. The consent agenda.
All items under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered at this point on the agenda.
Would any councilor like anything removed? Okay, so the consent agenda will consist of A, B, C, D, and E. Is there a motion?
Second.
Moved by Preschel, seconded by Levy. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Ordinances?
There are no ordinances nor appointments.
Okay, councilor activities and upcoming events. Councilor DeVorst.
Thank you. Certainly one of the fantastic highlights of the last 2 weeks was in visiting with many Beloiters at National Night Out. It was a wonderful turnout down at Riverside Park. Thank you to the Beloit Police Department, the Beloit Fire Department and paramedics, and to the Rock County Sheriff's Department, and all the other officers who came to visit us from other communities. I got to chat for a little while with some firefighters from Milton, and just really appreciated that they all came out to Beloit to support our relationships here in the city. And the highlight for the upcoming week that I'm looking forward to most is speaking at the trans graduation. You've heard me speak about trans before. It's near and dear to my heart. It's a construction training program with community action that a group of us helped to get started a couple years ago, and there's another group of people that are graduating, and so I'll be speaking at that graduation, and just thrilled that they're prepared for high-paying jobs in the construction field. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to attending New Zion's Courageous Conversations with the Beloit Police Department, and I know that Chief Zabolski will speak about that later, but I wanted to just in advance thank Chief and his staff for reaching out to the community, and certainly want to thank Pastor Ivy and New Zion Congregation for hosting that event. Another thing that I'm looking forward to is the fantastic party you're going to have at Riverside Park when Bike Across Wisconsin stops in Beloit. They'll be at Riverside Park on the 27th at 5 p.m. and there'll be food and music. And so please stop down and give everyone a Beloit welcome for that event. And the night before that, for our Friday night music in the park, free concert in the park, we actually have Welcome to Our Town, which is a reception where we welcome Beloit College students to the community. And so I will be attending that as well, and looking forward to letting the Beloit College students know how much we appreciate that they're here. And all of you Beloiters who are in the community and come down for Harriet Music's place, please go out of your way to welcome those Beloit College students. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Slaneker.
I had the opportunity to be involved in the National Night Out event, and it was a great turnout. I had a chance to stop at a few of the individual ones in the community and met some new people. And also I attended the street dance. I volunteered for a couple hours to help out and had a great time. It was a good turnout for that event as well.
Thank you. Counselor Duncan is not here. She is at an affair at the club, the Beloit Club, where for the Merrill Community Center. The Merrill Community Center has joined forces with the YMCA. They're going to be a joint venture from now on, so they'll both be stronger because of this. But they had a fundraiser today. I think it's still going on. They had about 85 plus golfers out there, and an all-day affair, and so Regina is in charge of that. And so she wanted to send her best to everybody at the council meeting tonight. So with that, Councilor Preschel.
Thank you. I too attended the National Night Out and a few of the block parties in between my house and the National Night Out site down at the Riverside. It was quite an amazing evening. Chief and the Rock County Sheriff's Department, everybody did an outstanding job. I sure hope there weren't any problems that needed police forces, because they were all there that night. I swear, I don't know where the rest of the guys were, but it was a pretty amazing turnout. Lots and lots of people. I also managed to stop by and shoot the finals of the Cub tourney on Saturday night, and that was a very interesting thing to watch. I don't know much about Cub, but I could tell that the guys who were winning were the champions, were really good at it. And they've already scheduled next year's U.S. Open for the same site. They really like our Riverside Park. And in September, I've worked with the people at Grinnell Hall to start a new little weekly program called What the Tech. And with my background in technology and their need for people to get their mysteries of technology solved, Paula and I have decided to do this once a week, Monday afternoon thing. And I'll facilitate. We won't answer the questions, but we'll find answers. And so I'm looking forward to that. And tomorrow morning at Beckman Mill, there's the Walk with Walker. And the First Lady of Wisconsin will be hiking through the Beckman Mill area, and I'll be out there with them and kind of see what's happening there. And then that'll be all for now. Busy day.
Vice President. Councilor Levy.
She just messing with me. So, first of all, I echo everyone's thoughts on the National Night Out. A lot of the community people really enjoyed it. They've also asked if this is going to be a yearly thing, and I said I know that the county moves it around from various city to city. So they said if there's anything the city could do to make sure that it continues. They've even had a bunch of suggestions that if every department kicks in maybe $100 or something, maybe we could pull it off. I said it's going to take a lot more than that, but it shows the the commitment and how well the community appreciates getting together and celebrating. So I don't know. I'm not going to say next year, but maybe somewhere down the road, if we can all look and see if there's a way that we can put this on with partnership with churches, community agencies, what have you. I know it'd be a big deal, but I just heard a lot of compliments from the citizens down there saying how they wish this could be a yearly thing. The second thing is the great class of 81 held our reunion this year. I see Eric Thompson up there. You can do the math of how many years that's been, but we're at street dance on Friday night with a lot of other class reunions, and people who have been away from the city and show up for that are just amazed of what the city has done over the years. A lot of compliments about the downtown, things that's going on. They're driving around Beloit, they're seeing great things, and they just wanted people to know, and I told them I'd be sure to share it at this meeting, that they're very pleased and very proud to continue to say Beloit's their home, and letting everybody know the great things that we're doing here. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Can I find, Councilor Hendricks.
Here I am. I'd just first like to make note that I was not even one when you graduated from high school. I don't want to rub that in, but today I was pleased to welcome many, many new freshmen to Beloit College. Today was move-in day, so they'll be at the park on Friday, but today I got to meet some of them. There's all of the families coming in. I made sure to make note that I do sit on the city council and made myself available if they have any questions about the city itself instead of just the Beloit bubble of Beloit College. So I'm trying to pop that. So there are a lot of excited students, nervous parents, but it happens every year. We're excited to have them, even if it's for a few months at a time. New students come to Beloit. And speaking of which, on Friday we will be doing a ribbon cutting for Emerson Apartments, which are being converted, well, they've been converted back to a dorm. It started off as a dorm in the 1800s, went to a senior citizens apartment complex, and now it's back to a dorm because we have an influx of students and we needed more housing. So that's good news on both ends. Friday is the first home football game for the Beloit Purple Knights. So I'll be on the sidelines cheering. Lori, I'm sure, will be there cheering. Yes. Yeah. He'll be there on the sidelines, possibly on the field. I'll be on the sidelines with my cheerleaders, who will also be, see how I'm tying all this in? Who will also be cheering at the bikers event on August 27th. That's always a fun event for us to cheer for the bikers that are coming through the city of Beloit. We got a lot of compliments last year when we did it. They said this is the only city where they had cheerleaders as they came through. So there's just a lot of good things going on in the city, through the city, and I'm happy to be here. That's it.
Thank you. I'll echo that sentiment, and I could talk for hours about all the neat things going on in Beloit. As you heard from some of the counselors here, it's just with pride being down in those wonderful bricks downtown Beloit. When the people pour in, we were taking tickets, and for 2 hours we didn't look up because so many people were pouring in. But like you said, Kevin, so many people come back to Beloit. They're coming back for homecomings now, or class reunions, and the pride they have and the positive comments. But I think just the counselors themselves, Regina and Sheila from Beloit College, I don't think Sheila's missed a Beloit College back. You know, you graduated from Beloit College and you go back for that big party every year, and now you're part of the college. You didn't graduate, that's not your fault. You're still Beloit. But and Kevin, now volunteering his time, he spent 15 years at Staples being their tech guru. Marilyn and the strong ties with the Hispanic community. Kevin at a baptism down at Leeson's Park. I mean, we got it all covered.
That
Because
was Regina Hendrickson's nephew.
It was my nephew.
Amen. Amen. But it was wonderful. But so we got a lot going on in Beloit. So we'll let people from the suburbs of Janesville and Rockton, Roscoe come up here and join us if they want and become part of the city. We're always open. Okay, that's it there. City manager's presentation.
Thank you. The Chief of Police has a presentation.
Chief Dave, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So as Councilor DeForest talked about, in furtherance of our community policing outreach, we're starting a new series of meetings, which it's actually called Conversations with the Community, because we don't want to steal someone else's courageous conversations, although What the Tech was pretty interesting. But I couldn't come up with anything catchier than this. So what it really is a series of conversations with our community on a number of issues in which we've identified conflict often arises between citizens and police. So our first meeting will be Wednesday. That is Wednesday, August 24th. You may have heard Thursday, but it's Wednesday, August 24th at New Zion Baptist Church, 1905 on Mound, 5:30 till 8 p.m. And this first conversation will focus on traffic stops. And essentially, through our pastoral advisory team, which Councilor Levy is also on, we will make some introductions to the folks there, and then open up some conversation, recognizing some of the historical issues between police and the community, especially in our minority neighborhoods and communities, and then really a series of thought-provoking questions about what people think and why they think it. You know, should you stop when the police pull over? Can they tell you to do this? Should you do that? That type of stuff. And Councilor Hendricks may remember last year when you brought your group in. All I have to do is ask a couple of questions. Do you think you can do this? Oh, absolutely, and here's why. And so it's understanding why people think that, and appreciating those perspectives, and then really going down through the list of, okay, here's what the police worry about when they stop your car, and here's what the citizens worry about when they get stopped, and then really what's the law. And educating the community is one of the biggest things that we need to do, and that will benefit all of us the most. Here's really the legal parameters. Suggestions on what you should do if you're in a vehicle, a passenger or a driver during a stop, what the police appropriate use of authority looks like, and then just general Q&A, and at the end we'll be looking for some excited volunteers to participate in a public service announcement like a video that we'll put on our website about here's the do's and don'ts of traffic stops, that kind of thing. So that'll be the focus on August 24th. We have some dates in September and October to discuss other things such as use of force, another police-citizen contact. So we're just going to roll it out from there and identify our topics, and then move to different locations, different churches in the community, and hold these conversations.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
I forgot to mention one thing during the councilor presentation. I want to mention to all Beloiters, and I hope everybody can come, on September 4th, that's the Sunday before Labor Day. Labor Day is on the 5th. Our council meeting will be held on Tuesday, that next month. But on the 4th, from 1 to 4 o'clock, downtown Beloit, we're going to have a Beloit Proud Day, a community spirit day. We're going to have free food and just breaking of bread amongst Beloiters. We're going to show other communities how to do it, how Beloit gets along so well with one another. And everybody's invited. We encourage everybody to come. So that's 1 to 4 on September 4th, free food, but more importantly, free fellowship and just communion with one another, just getting to know one another better. We're going to show others how to do it. So please mark your calendars. Okay, going on, reports from boards and city officers.
11A is a resolution setting a return date and authorizing the issuance of a summons for an alcohol license sanction hearing for Casey's Marketing Company. We'll refer to Attorney Krieger. We'll need to turn her mic on.
There we go.
Hey, Kruger.
At its June 2016 meeting, the Alcohol Beverage License Control Committee recommended to suspend the Class A fermented malt beverage license for Casey's for a period of 10 days. A complaint has been prepared and is now filed with the City Clerk's office. At this time, the law requires that the council set a hearing date for this matter and to authorize the issuance of the summons for the business to appear at the hearing. Tentatively, we set that date for Tuesday, August 23rd at 6 p.m. If council approves, the city is hereby requesting that the council authorize the clerk to issue the summons and then finally set that date and time for the hearing. Also, Attorney Brooke Jose has agreed to provide the City Council with assistance for that hearing, so we keep my role in it separate from the council's role. If you have any questions, I can take them now, or if you could just approve the resolution and authorize the issuance of the summons, I'd appreciate it.
Any questions? Is there a motion to approve? Moved by DeForest?
Second.
Seconded by Hendricks. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed. Passes 6-0.
11B is a resolution setting a return date and authorizing the issuance of a summons for an alcohol license sanction hearing for Pitcher's Mound Ltd.
Attorney Krieger.
Similarly, we try to keep these on the same day to be as efficient as we can. At its June meeting, the Alcohol Beverage License Control Committee voted to revoke the license for Pitcher's Mound. Pitcher's Mound closed its doors on or about May 3rd of this year, and due to their non-use and abandonment of that license, it is required that we do a revocation hearing if they don't voluntarily relinquish that license. We have not had any I have not had communication from the license holder to date. So at this time, we'd like the city would ask for you to authorize the clerk to issue the summons for this hearing and to formally set that for August 23rd at 6 p.m. as well.
If there are no questions, we have Councilor DeForest.
Sorry, I forgot to ask this upstairs. So will you continue to make an effort to contact them to avoid the hearing if possible?
We've tried Facebook, phone calls. I've tried to get friends of him, the owner, to try to get in contact with us. So we're trying.
Okay,
but if they don't show up, it'll be a very quick hearing, but we're certainly making an effort.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you for trying. Any other comments? Councilor Preschel.
Just to be clear, we're doing this hearing only because they aren't voluntarily relinquishing the license, and we have to go through this formal proceeding to do so, right?
That's correct.
Correct. The law requires that a license holder have the opportunity before their license is taken away to have due process. So at this point, we have drafted the complaint for the revocation of that license, and they can appear and let you know what they want to know about the side of their case, and the city will present its side, and then you'll decide whether or not to revoke the license.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Levy.
Second.
Seconded by Preschel. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes 6-0. Thank think you're up, Mrs. Hendricks.
Move to adjourn.
Second move to adjourn by Hendricks, second by Prescia. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.